Beneath the towering cathedral of the ancient canopy, where the jaguar stalks and the eagle soars, there lies another universe entirely. A microscopic empire hidden in the eternal twilight, governed by laws of raw survival that we are only just beginning to comprehend. Here, the inhabitants may be small, but their ambitions are infinite. These are the leafcutter ants, the true architects of the jungle floor, marching in lines that can stretch for miles, stripping the forest to feed a civilization that rivals our own in complexity. They are the first farmers of the planet. Deep underground, they do not eat these leaves. They use them to cultivate a specialized fungus, a sprawling agricultural network that feeds millions of workers in a city that never sleeps and never stops growing. But this agricultural empire requires protection. Behold the soldier caste, giants among their kin, wielding mandibles powerful enough to slice through leather. In the Amazon, even the smallest society must be armed to the teeth to survive the constant state of war. And then, there is the solitary warrior. Meet the bullet ant, a creature that commands respect through sheer agony. Its sting is not merely painful, it is a legendary threshold of suffering, often compared to the burning shock of being shot by a gun. This single drop of neurotoxin initiates a fire that rages in the veins for 24 agonizing hours. It is a biological weapon refined over millions of years, designed not just to kill, but to teach a lesson that no predator will ever forget. For the indigenous tribes of the Amazon, facing this creature is the ultimate test of endurance. It is a rite of passage where boys become men, voluntarily submitting to the torture to prove their inner strength against the jungle's fiercest chemistry. In this land of giants, size does matter. The Titan beetle is the largest beetle in the rainforest, a six-legged tank armored in thick chitin. It possesses jaws so powerful they can snap a wooden pencil in half with a casual bite, a living hydraulic press of the undergrowth. When it takes to the air, it is a heavy bomber, clumsy but unstoppable. It spends years underground as a larva, only to emerge for a few brief weeks as this colossal adult, driven by a singular, desperate purpose to find a mate before its energy reserves run dry. But brute force is not the only strategy for survival. The assassin bug prefers the art of stealth. It is a patient sniper, waiting motionless on a flower petal, blending in with the beauty until the moment its unsuspecting victim lands within striking distance. The strike is faster than the human eye can follow. It injects a lethal cocktail of enzymes that liquefies the prey's insides almost instantly, turning a living struggle into a silent soup, allowing the assassin to drink the life essence of its victim. And then, there are the body snatchers, the stuff of true nightmares. The cordyceps fungus. It does not just kill, it enslaves. It hijacks the mind of the host, chemically compelling the ant to leave its colony and climb to a precise height before the end comes. Locked in a death grip high above the forest floor, the ant dies so the fungus can live. From this vantage point, the stalk erupts, raining down deadly spores onto the unsuspecting colony below, continuing a cycle of parasitic horror that keeps the insect populations in check. When the army ants march, the jungle holds its breath in terror. They have no permanent nest, no home to defend. They are a nomadic legion of a million mouths, a flowing river of hunger that scours the forest floor, dismantling anything too slow to escape their path. Their arrival triggers a mass exodus. Spiders, scorpions, and beetles, creatures that are usually apex predators in their own micro-worlds, flee in blind panic. Against the swarm, individual strength is meaningless. There is only the choice to run or to be consumed. Their engineering is organic. Without blueprints, they link their bodies together to form living bridges and rafts, overcoming obstacles that would stop a solitary creature. They are a superorganism where the individual is nothing and the colony is everything. To survive in this war zone, you must learn the art of disappearance. The katydid has evolved to become the very thing it lives upon. Its wings mimic the veins of a leaf, complete with brown spots of decay, a perfect illusion to fool the sharp eyes of hungry birds. Camouflage is the highest art form of the Amazon. It is a high-stakes game of hide-and-seek where the penalty for movement is death. Only when the danger passes does the leaf come to life, revealing legs and antennae in a brief moment of vulnerability. Others mimic the debris of the forest. The stick insect is a master of stillness, holding its body rigid for hours to resemble a dry twig. It effectively erases itself from the visual spectrum of predators, becoming just another piece of the background noise. And some simply look too bizarre to be eaten. The lanternfly sports a head that resembles a peanut or even a small lizard, complete with false eyes. It is visual deception at its finest, confusing predators long enough to make a quick escape. Amidst the monsters and the mimics, there is blinding beauty. The blue morpho butterfly is a living flash of sapphire. Its wings do not contain blue pigment. Instead, they use microscopic structures to refract light, creating a color so intense it can be seen by pilots from the sky. But this beauty is a toggle switch. The moment it lands and closes its wings, the brilliant blue vanishes, replaced by dull brown patterns with large eye spots. In an instant, it transforms from a dazzling jewel into a dead leaf, disappearing from the predator's radar. But be warned, in the Amazon, do not touch the beauty. This caterpillar looks soft and inviting, but its fur conceals venomous spines. A single touch delivers a sting that radiates intense pain, a chemical warning that says, "Look, but do not touch." The battles here are gladiatorial. The Hercules beetle, named for its godlike strength, engages in epic wrestling matches for the right to mate. Using horns that make up half their body length, they lock in combat, testing the limits of their exoskeleton's durability. Physics is pushed to the limit as the victor lifts his rival into the air. Strength is the only law that matters in this microkingdom, and the loser is cast down from the canopy, falling into the dark abyss of the forest floor below. Deep in the silk-lined burrows of the forest floor, something ancient is waiting. It senses the vibrations of footsteps long before the prey arrives, a patient monster lurking in the threshold between the earth and the open air. Behold, the Goliath bird-eater, the largest spider in the world by mass, a creature of nightmares the size of a dinner plate. It is a heavyweight wrestler of the arachnid world, moving with a terrifying purpose that sends shivers down the spine of even the bravest explorer. Look at its weaponry. Its fangs are immense, long enough to pierce the skull of a mouse or the beak of a bird. While its venom is not lethal to humans, the mechanical damage from a bite is severe, driven by muscles capable of crushing small bones. It does not spin a web to wait for food. It hunts on foot. It relies on stealth and explosive power, launching itself at prey with a speed that belies its massive size, pinning the victim down before delivering the fatal strike. Despite its name, it rarely eats birds. Its diet is a horror show of insects, frogs, and small lizards. It drags its paralyzed victims back into the darkness of its burrow, where it can liquefy and consume them in undisturbed silence. But the true terror of the Amazon wanders at night. The Brazilian wandering spider does not hide in a burrow. It roams the forest floor and climbs the vegetation, an aggressive hunter that stands its ground against any threat, raising its legs to display its red fangs. It is widely considered the most venomous spider on Earth. Its neurotoxic venom is potent enough to cause loss of muscle control, breathing problems, and eventually, asphyxiation. It is a wandering landmine, armed and ready to detonate at the slightest provocation. Unlike other spiders that retreat, this one charges. It is fast, agile, and relentlessly aggressive. It is known to hide in banana bunches and wander into human settlements, bringing its deadly chemistry into the homes of the unwary. Not all monsters use venom. The whip spider looks like a creature from a nightmare, a mix of spider and scorpion with spindly, grasping arms. It navigates the dark, using ultra-sensitive feelers that extend like antennas, sensing the air currents of moving prey. Despite its horrific appearance, it is harmless to humans, lacking venom entirely. It is a silent hunter of the dark, snatching moths and crickets with its spiny pedipalps in a terrifyingly fast embrace, crushing them with mechanical force. The scorpions here carry a cocktail of neurotoxins that demand respect. Under ultraviolet light, they glow with a ghostly blue fluorescence, a warning sign in the dark. They are ancient survivors, armored and armed with a tail that delivers liquid pain. Their strike is a reflex of pure precision. The stinger finds the soft spot in the prey's armor, injecting venom that shuts down the nervous system. One strike is usually enough to end the struggle, turning a fight into a meal. But even the spiders have nightmares. Enter the tarantula hawk wasp. This giant wasp engages in a duel with tarantulas, risking death to deliver a sting that paralyzes the spider forever, turning the predator into a living incubator. The horror is specific and calculated. The wasp drags the paralyzed spider into a burrow and lays a single egg on its abdomen. When the larva hatches, it eats the spider alive from the inside out, saving the vital organs for last to keep the meat fresh. 8 legs, 8 eyes, a million ways to kill. From the wandering giants to the trapdoor lurkers, the arachnids are the ultimate population control of the Amazon, a diverse family of hunters that ensures no insect population ever grows too large. Where there is water, there is color. And in the Amazon, color is a language. Amidst the green monotony, vibrant jewels hop across the mossy stones, signaling their presence to the entire world with an arrogance that is backed by lethal chemistry. This is the golden poison frog. Do not let their size fool you. It is possibly the most poisonous animal on the planet. Its skin is saturated with batrachotoxin, a substance so potent that a single frog contains enough poison to kill 10 grown men or 20,000 mice. It has no need to hide. It has no need to run. It moves with the confidence of a creature that knows it is untouchable. Its bright yellow skin is a universal stop sign, warning every predator that a single bite will be their last mistake. Even a simple touch can be dangerous. Indigenous hunters rub their blowgun darts on the back of this frog, harvesting the toxin to hunt game. The poison blocks nerve signals to the muscles, stopping the heart in a matter of minutes. The variety of toxins is matched only by the variety of colors. The blue poison dart frog wears a coat of electric azure, a neon sign in the dark undergrowth. These colors scream, "Do not eat me," a strategy known as aposematism that saves both the predator and the prey. But these toxic jewels are also devoted parents. Watch this strawberry poison dart frog. The father carries his newly hatched tadpole on his back, climbing high into the canopy to find a safe nursery away from the dangers of the forest floor. He deposits his precious cargo into the water-filled center of a bromeliad. Here, in this private swimming pool high in the sky, the tadpole is safe from fish and insect larvae, but it faces a new problem: starvation. The mother returns daily to feed her offspring. She lays unfertilized eggs into the water, a protein-rich meal that sustains the tadpole until it transforms. It is a struggle for survival fought in a cup of water, driven by parental dedication. When the sun sets, the icons of the Amazon awake. The red-eyed tree frog is the face of the rainforest. During the day, it sleeps camouflaged as a green lump, but at night, it flashes its giant red eyes and orange feet to startle predators, buying a split second to escape. It is an acrobat of the canopy, leaping through the dark with impossible precision. Its sticky toe pads allow it to grip wet leaves and vertical surfaces, moving through the three-dimensional maze of the rainforest with total freedom. Some choose toxicity, others choose invisibility. The glass frog takes camouflage to the extreme. Its skin is translucent, allowing it to blend perfectly with the light filtering through the leaves. It is a ghost, barely there, hiding in plain sight. Look closely from beneath and you witness a miracle. You can see the very heart of life beating inside its chest, the digestion of its last meal, the pulse of existence protected by nothing but a thin layer of transparent skin. On the forest floor, patience is a weapon. The horned frog, also known as the Pac-Man frog, buries itself in the mud, leaving only its eyes visible. It is not a hunter. It is a living trap, waiting for days for a careless victim to wander too close. It is essentially a mouth with legs. When the moment comes, it strikes with explosive speed, its mouth opening incredibly wide to engulf prey almost its own size. Lizards, rodents, even other frogs, nothing is safe from its insatiable appetite. And then, the strangest of them all, the Suriname toad. It lives its entire life in the water, looking like a flattened dead leaf. But its method of reproduction is straight out of a science fiction horror movie, a strategy so bizarre it defies belief. The female carries her fertilized eggs embedded in the skin of her back. The skin grows over them, forming a honeycomb of pockets where the embryos develop in safety, bypassing the dangerous tadpole stage entirely. When they are ready, fully formed miniature toads erupt from their mother's back, swimming away into the dark water. It is a nightmare to some, but a miracle of evolution to others, ensuring the highest survival rate for her young. High in the dry canopy, the giant monkey frog faces the threat of dehydration. It produces a waxy secretion that it rubs all over its body, sealing in moisture like living plastic wrap. It is a chemist, synthesizing its own sunscreen and moisturizer to survive the heat. When the rains come, the night air fills with a deafening symphony. Thousands of frogs gather to call for mates, their throat sacs expanding like balloons. It is a chaotic competition where the loudest voice wins the right to pass on his genes to the next generation. But silence falls instantly when a shadow glides in. The frogs know that the noise attracts not only love, but death. The concert ends abruptly as the true rulers of the ground arrive to claim their toll. The dragons of the Amazon still rule the trees. The green iguana is a survivor from a lost age, a herbivore that has adapted to life in the vertical world. Growing up to 2 meters long, they are the undisputed kings of the riverbank branches. Look at its eye. It is the gaze of a dinosaur. Its skin is a suit of armor, tough and water-resistant. Though they look sluggish, their bodies are coiled springs of energy, ready to react at the first sign of danger from above or below. When threatened by a hawk or a monkey, they choose the abyss. They drop from heights of up to 30 meters, crashing into the water below. They are excellent swimmers, using their powerful tails to disappear into the depths before the predator can react. Smaller, faster, and defying the laws of physics, the basilisk lizard waits on the low branches. It is known by a holy name, the Jesus Christ lizard, for a talent that seems nothing short of miraculous. It walks on water. By churning its legs so fast that air pockets form beneath its feet, it creates enough surface tension to support its own weight. It sprints across the river surface, leaving baffled predators behind on the shore. The caiman lizard is a specialist. With a red head and an armored body resembling a crocodile, it hunts underwater for snails. Its jaws are modified with flat, molar-like teeth designed to crush shells with immense pressure, accessing the soft meat inside. On the ground, the tegu is a scavenger with an insatiable appetite. Intelligent and relentless, it patrols the forest floor using its forked tongue to taste the air, searching for fallen fruit, insects, or the nests of other reptiles to raid. It is fearless. A tegu will stand its ground against snakes and small mammals, using its powerful tail as a whip and its strong jaws to defend itself. It is the tank of the undergrowth, armored and aggressive. In the shallows, the mata-mata turtle waits. It is a master of disguise, its shell resembling bark, and its head shaped like a fallen leaf. It lies motionless in the mud, barely breathing, becoming one with the detritus of the riverbed. It does not bite, it inhales. When a fish swims too close, the mata-mata opens its mouth so fast it creates a vacuum, sucking the prey and the water in with explosive force. It is a living black hole of the river. But the true rulers of the ground have no legs. They move without footsteps, silent gliders that strike fear into the heart of every living thing in the Amazon. This is the domain of the serpents. Meet the fer de lance. It is responsible for more bites than any other snake in the Amazon. Its camouflage is perfect, blending seamlessly with the leaf litter, making it an invisible landmine for the careless walker. It is aggressive, unpredictable, and highly venomous. Its heat-sensing pits allow it to see the thermal signature of warm-blooded prey in total darkness, guiding its strike with laser precision. Death strikes at the speed of light. Its fangs unfold like switchblades, injecting a hemotoxic venom that destroys tissue and causes massive internal bleeding. It is a creature that demands absolute respect and distance. High in the trees, a jewel watches. The emerald tree boa is a vision of beauty, its green scales mimicking the leaves around it. It spends its days coiled in a perfect loop, head resting in the center, waiting for the sun to set. But do not be deceived by its beauty. It possesses the longest teeth of any non-venomous snake, curved like scimitars to snatch birds from the air. It does not need venom. Its teeth act as hooks to secure prey before the coils do the rest. It is a night hunter that never misses. Hanging by its tail, it snatches bats from the air in mid-flight, wrapping them in a suffocating embrace before gravity can pull them down. Then there is the Bushmaster, the longest viper in the Americas, reaching lengths of over 3 meters. It is a phantom of the deep jungle, rare and elusive, but terrifyingly powerful when encountered. Its scales are rough and beaded, earning it the name Pineapple of the Forest. It lies in wait along game trails for weeks, its metabolism slowed to a crawl, waiting for a large rodent or deer to pass within range. It is the master of the bush. When threatened, it vibrates its tail against the dry leaves, creating a buzzing sound that mimics a rattlesnake, a warning that you have stepped into the territory of a king. But there is one legend that dwarfs them all. In the murky waters where the river runs slow, a monster grows to mythical proportions. This is the apex of the reptile world, the green anaconda, the largest snake in the world by weight. It is a river dragon, a creature of such immense bulk that it needs the water to support its own body. On land, it is heavy. In the water, it is weightless and deadly. It is a muscle of pure power, capable of reaching lengths of over 6 meters and weighing as much as a motorcycle. It moves through the water with a silent grace, searching for caimans, capybaras, or even jaguars. It is not venom that kills here. It is the embrace. When it strikes, it bites to hold, then coils its massive body around the prey. With every breath the victim takes, the snake tightens its grip, slowly squeezing the life out of them. It is a siege engine of flesh and blood. The pressure exerted is immense, enough to stop the heart and collapse the lungs. Every breath you take is your last, until the darkness takes over. After the meal, the giant sleeps. A large kill can sustain an anaconda for months. It lies on the riverbank, digesting bone and sinew, a dormant god waiting for the hunger to return. Not all are monsters of the deep. The rainbow boa wears the spectrum on its skin. Its microscopic ridges refract sunlight into shimmering rainbows, a dazzling display that hides a capable and efficient hunter. The coral snake prefers to be seen. Its bands of red, black, and yellow are a universal code for danger. It is shy and reclusive, but its venom is a potent neurotoxin related to cobra venom, causing respiratory failure. Its reputation is so feared that other snakes mimic it. The false coral snake copies the colors to borrow the fear, a bluff that keeps predators away. In the Amazon, lying is a survival strategy that keeps you alive. They are the ancient guardians of the forest floor, respected, feared, and misunderstood. They are the essential predators that keep the balance of the jungle, ruling the world without legs. The world of the giants and the world of the small are not separate. Even the king jaguar watches his step. He knows that in this jungle, death can come from a creature 1,000 times smaller than himself. He knows that a single bite from a fer-de-lance can end his reign. Intelligence in the Amazon means respecting the lethal power of the venomous, acknowledging that size does not grant immunity. The giants and the insects are connected in a complex web of life. The anteater shapes the landscape by controlling termite populations, while the jaguar controls the anteater. Every life is a thread in the tapestry. It is a cascade of cause and effect. The squirrel monkeys follow the destructive path of the army ants, not to fight them, but to feast on the insects flushed out by the swarm. One army's invasion is another's buffet. They are the opportunists, turning chaos into calories. In the Amazon, nothing is wasted. Every movement creates an opportunity for someone else to survive another day. The dragon of the tree becomes a meal for the lord of the sky. The harpy eagle connects the canopy to the branches, reminding the reptiles that their armor is useless against the crushing grip of the Air Force. The food chain is brutal, efficient, and circular. Energy flows from the sun to the leaf, from the leaf to the iguana, and from the iguana to the eagle, binding them all in the dance of life. Yet, amidst the violence, there is profound peace. Look at this caiman. It tolerates the butterflies drinking from its eyes. They are drinking its tears, rich in salt, a precious mineral that is rare in the rainforest. It is a moment of pure poetry. The killer and the fragile beauty, united by a tear. Salt is life, and in this nutrient-poor environment, even tears are a resource to be shared. But for the large mammals, the insects are a constant plague. The tapir, despite its thick skin, is besieged by clouds of flies and mosquitoes. The smallest creatures are often the biggest tormentors, draining blood and testing patience. The botfly is a silent horror. It lays its eggs on a mosquito, which then delivers them to the host's skin. The larva burrows in, turning living flesh into a nursery. It is a parasite that proves the jungle is inside you, as well as around you. The river wolves feast on the armored invertebrates. They are the only ones with the jaw strength and the dexterity to crack the crabs and mollusks of the river, turning the armored bottom dwellers into a feast. Hunger drives them to take risks. The coati risks a venomous bite to dig up a tarantula. It is a gamble with death where the prize is a high-protein meal, a daily wager made by every predator in the forest. The insects defend their territory against the giants. A monkey that sits on the wrong branch is quickly reminded that the trees belong to the ants. It is a painful lesson in respecting the boundaries of the micro-world. As the sun begins to set, the guard changes. The heat of the day dissipates and the shadows lengthen. The visual hunters retire, and the creatures of the dark prepare to take the stage. The day hunters retreat to their dens and nests. The green world turns black. But the forest does not sleep. It merely shifts gears. The night shift is about to begin. The creatures of the night unfurl their wings. Moths the size of birds take to the air, navigating by the light of the moon and the stars, silent ghosts seeking mates in the dark. The aerial war begins. Bats patrol the canopy, using sound to see. It is a dogfight played out in total darkness, a biological arms race between the echolocating hunter and the evasive prey. And the forest begins to glow. Termite mounds light up with the eerie green glow of bioluminescent beetle larvae. They are living constellations on the forest floor, luring prey into their jaws with a cold, beautiful light. A galaxy of living stars fills the air above the swamps. Fireflies signal to one another in a code of light, turning the terrifying darkness into a scene of magical beauty. Even in the danger, there is wonder. The ocelot prowls for the careless. Eyes, adapted for night vision, scan the ground for the movement of a frog. It is the connection between the world of the cats and the world of the amphibians. Life and death are separated by a fraction of a second. The frog escapes to the water. The cat continues its patrol. The cycle continues, under the watchful eye of the moon, in the greatest wilderness on Earth.